What's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing? There's some echo going on.
Right. What was that? You just lost. I can hear you, but you like cut out. It's weird.
There's some echo going on. Hang on a second.
Yeah, that's weird.
Hang on 1 second. Hey, wait, what a way to start a show, right?
Test it for hours.
Right.
No problem. Second you go live.
I got it. It was me. It's always me. It's always me.
God. You know what? I
I
just got a notification that Let's Talk Live came on, so I'm just going to go over there.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Let's Talk Live podcast. We have an amazing show for everybody this evening.
We do.
We got my main man in the house, Primo. How's it going from the Executive Automotive Society? I will get this right at some point.
It is going amazing today. I saw my childhood dream car today, the Vector W8. And so was it crazy?
Oh.
Yeah. Like I went a Lamborghini Reventon. Let's see, one of 15 cars in the world. It was actually number 15 too, which I thought was kind of funny. So, and a bunch of other like crazy cars that just were out of this world. So
that's sick, man.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you're big into the car scene. You have your YouTube page at Executive Automotive Society. You guys can go over and join. Subscribe for all fantastic luxury car experience.
That's right. Yep.
But
that's not. I'm not. You know what? You left me out. I'm sitting here the whole time going, "What's going on?" I get this call, and I was like, "Oh, look at this thing popped up on my phone, and it says." Anthony Farrer gone forever, and so I am here to figure out what the heck is going on. We're
gonna answer all the questions for the doubters and the haters.
That's right.
The doubters and the haters. So he could be gone. He could be. Maybe he's still around. Maybe he's gone. We're gonna answer those questions.
We are.
We have the franchise.
That's
in the house. What's up, gentlemen?
What's
Laura
up?
Is over here as well. Hello, Laura. How are you?
Hey.
How are you? Oh, Rangers fan in the house. Good evening to you from New York City.
Nice.
Good evening to you. Nice to see you back here, Ranger. Thanks for joining us. Well, just let a little bit more time here. See if some people will join us, and then we're going to get into the heart of the story.
The nitty gritty.
The nitty gritty.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
The nitty gritty.
Would you, dude? We had some incredible weather today. It was almost like it flipped and said, "We're gonna have today's going to be great." So, what was it? Almost 70 degrees.
It was
bright, shiny. It was a perfect day to go check out some cars for me. But that's the thing is I just got out and drove for like probably 3-4 hours. So I was happy.
You drove. I had to work. It sucks. I had to work.
I feel so bad. I was going to message you, by the way, in the middle of the day. I'm sitting there driving and I was like, you know what? I'm going to send him a picture of the car. And then I'm going to say, I know you're at work. I'm sorry. But, and then I was like, no, he wants to be miserable. We'll catch up tonight and he can be miserable on the podcast.
I hate you.
Sorry, buddy.
If you guys haven't already, we are over on IG. Please go over and subscribe to IG. It's almost funny because it always looks like Let's Talk Live _ podcast, but that's the only way I could write it. But please, guys, go over and join us on IG. I do a lot of behind the scenes and drop what our show topic's going to be about. And also, if it's the first time over here, make sure to subscribe, hit the bell icon, and always upvote the stream. So I'm not going to keep people right. I'm not going to keep people too much longer because I know we're going to lose people if I don't get into the nitty.
Oh, they're fine.
Gritty. The nitty.
Yeah. Oh, you did it again. Did you hit the button? You hit the button, didn't you?
And you duct tape on that thing so it won't come undone.
Yep.
It always comes undone. But anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to answer the questions. Answer the questions.
There's a question.
There's a question right here.
Oh, that's right.
Franchise says he's going to hit the Untamed show, but washed the Cadillac and drove around in the country.
Out in the country.
Out in the country.
He's still lost in the country right now.
Still lost in the country.
He's like, I don't know where I'm at.
All right, let's get to the show topic. The show topic
this
evening is Anthony Farah.
What?
Is he gone? Is he around? What's going on? What's the deal?
Inquiring minds want to know.
Inquiring minds want to know. So let's give him some answers. All right. Hang on 1 second. Let me fix my screen here. Damn it. Sorry, guys.
We practiced.
And the funny thing is, I practiced all of this before we came on air, and I'm fucking it all up right now.
It was so good, too. I was like, he gives me just enough to entice me to watch.
Right.
And then he puts the stuff. I'm like, this is going to look great. And
yep. And I'm failing miserably. You know what the hard thing is that I'm trying to run so much stuff. Like I'm producing the show as I'm talking, and it's so much to do. Sometimes.
I did the same thing on mine the other day. I had this, imagine this perfect layout. I had edited it. It took me like 3 hours to edit. I finally hit play, and when I did, I'd started it right in the middle, so it like cut the whole thing. I was like, come on.
All right, we're gonna do this one for the lovers and the haters. The lovers and the haters. So you have the exclusive Let's Talk Live podcast. I don't have the ticker tape sound.
Yeah, anyway. I'll go find it.
All right. Slideshow presentation for everybody this evening. Let's get into it. So the first thing that I want to get into is watch Nicholas versus Anthony Farah. So I don't know. Is there
a score so far? Do we have like a 1 versus 0, 0-1, or is it just flat open for this?
Right.
I think Anthony's undefeated at this point.
I think people would probably disagree, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But first thing I do want to touch on this evening is last couple of streams that we've had a lot of people in the comments going, well, you know, you're inviting Anthony on, but you're not giving Watch Nicholas his due. You know, if you're gonna play this neutral, ground and give everybody neutral ground to come in and talk, then you need to invite him. So I did reach out to Watch Nicholas. As you guys do know, I'm sure you guys all know, he is back streaming. I want to wish him luck in his content and his venture. But I did reach out to him. I'm going to share that. And there's nothing crazy in here. His email address is public. Our email address is public. Right. So I'm not doxing anybody. You can go right to his About tab, click on that, and it'll have his email. So I did send him over an email. I'm going to read off the big screen here because my eyes are terrible and I can't read it on this screen. But I basically reached out to him on April 27th and said, hey, Nicholas, we've had some conversations on the podcast over here the last few days reporting on what's happened between all parties involved with the TPG saga. We'd like to invite you on our podcast to facilitate a neutral ground. Mm-hmm. And if you'd like to share your story, we have some basic questions as to how this all started and why it all started. Respect your anonymity. So if you decide to join, what's that?
Hike.
Right. If you decide to join us, you can turn your camera off. I respect that, blah, 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 and enable your microphone. Let us know if you have an interest. He wrote me back and said, I have no interest in collaborating or doing that, and gave me the peace sign. And that's fine.
Very, very deep answer. I liked it.
It's fine. It's fine. No, it's fine. Right. I respect that. Yep. That's his statement.
And he did not. He cut right to the chase. Like there you go. Right.
I want to wish him luck in whatever he does, how he carries on. Good, sir. Thank you for answering us. He's not going to be joining the show. So I want to get that out of the air, get that out on the table. Because like I said, the last couple of streams, people were coming at me and said, well, you're providing a neutral ground for Anthony, but you're not involved in it.
Watch Nicholas is watching, and he can come on and he'll do stuff. And I got a contact. Well, there you go. He's not interested.
He's not interested in doing anything. Right. Good luck, sir, in whatever you do.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Right.
All right. Moving forward.
Done.
I have.
Here's Anthony. There you go.
I started to reach out to Anthony, and that's what everybody was calling me to the carpet as well. Oh, this is bullshit. It's clickbait. You're not having any conversations. Well, yeah, I am. And I did have conversations with him. And I'm sharing the chat, and I'm sure that Anthony doesn't care. There's nothing really crazy, or it's just kind of how a podcast person that runs a podcast would reach out to a guest. And we're going to get into the meat of the story here and let everybody know what's going on. So anyway, April 13th was basically the last content that Anthony had put out as far as a video. I think this was the apology video around that time. I said, hey, just watch your video, keep it holding it together. You got this open platform on my podcast. If you ever want to chat, we'd love to have you on.
Nice.
I've been dropping the link for him as shows have been dropping.
Yeah, this is from the last show, right?
Yep, this was our first show that we did about TPG. So the
because this looks very familiar to me.
This is our third, right?
Right.
Drop the link and just say, hey, if you want to join, open platform.
Got
it. This was the response on the 21st. He said, I'm not doing social media anymore. People are trying to burn me and everyone that works for us. So I decided just to quit.
Yeah, so which no shock there. I mean, everybody was kind of being, and we even had it in our own chat that people were really just going after him. And that's the thing is I didn't, that response didn't shock me. No.
Right. So, I wrote back. I just said, no worries, Anthony. So you ever need an outlet to talk, we'd love to have you. Good luck with everything. Good luck with everything. I hope you keep your head up and pushing forward.
Right.
Pretty natural response. So did a little bit more circling back around. A couple of days went by. I wrote back to him and said, I just said, hey, Anthony, I hope this finds you well. I just wanted to touch base and ask if you have posted an official statement as to why you left social media. Could it be something we could read on air to solidify your position on everything? If you haven't made one, no problem. But if you decide to make one in the future, be great if you could share it with me so I can let our viewers know your position. Even if it's a recorded statement, it'd probably be a great deal. I find your story fascinating. Would like to help get your statement out in any way possible. Thanks for your attention. Loving your IG content. Keep up the great work.
And this looks like right after the last show that we had.
This is the second to last show, correct? Yeah. And I've been kind of doing my due diligence over this last, week and being persistent. It's what podcasters do when you want guests on your show.
That's what you have to do. Yep.
You got to reach out and put the work in and just, give people that platform to respond. Because at this point, as we know, he has not responded to anybody or anything. He's been very quiet.
Radio silence.
Right. Radio silence. He's running his business on IG. He's posting videos and,
you just kind of stay in the path. That was the thing is I noticed he just stuck to IG, kind of kept off everything else and just said, I'm just going to stick to what I'm good at. And that's kind of, I guess that would be the safe route,
I think that, and I think this goes back to, the last couple of shows that we've talked about. I think just clearing the air, getting off YouTube, letting, because people have been watching. I mean, between Watch Nicholas and Anthony and all the crazy videos that have been coming out and the thrashing that he was getting by Watch Nicholas, I'm sure, again, and I've talked about this, I think it has affected his business in some way. Maybe some investors have pulled out. Obviously, he was, sharing content on his YouTube. He had problems with his lease. It was causing problems with his lease, et cetera, et cetera. And that's what he was showing his audiences. So, I mean, it's no surprise that, maybe he jumps off, quiets down, controls his business, goes through IG and just continues on.
Just waits for kind of the heat to blow over.
Right. The heat to blow over. So moving forward, I got a response on Wednesday.
There you go.
I was actually very surprised that he responded. At this point, after the initial content where he just said, I'm not doing IG anymore. I thought that was going to be it. I just said, this guy's going to kind of ignore me. He's not going to reach back out. I think this is dead in the water, but I was actually very surprised that he did reach back out. So Anthony said, send me the list of every question scenario you'd like to go over, answer to, and I'll look it over. And then the funny thing is, I want to say after that, later that night. Oh no, I'm sorry. So
this is Wednesday.
Right. Let me move on. So I wrote back, here, Anthony, here are the questions I have in mind and a brief history to you and TPG up to current day. My primary focus is to treat with respect and hear your story. I respect everything that you won't talk about, but I hope you'll grant me a few minutes of your time just to catch up, chat, let everybody know what you've been up to. I want to see you succeed. And I think truly you can. I admire your passion and drive. I got to tell the guy, after all the shit, and I will be transparent about this, all the shit that he's gone through, he's continued to push forward and pursue his dream. And I know a lot of people are probably going to can on me or pace me against the wall for that. But anybody that can grind, and a lot of people don't realize YouTube is a fucking animal, and people on YouTube can be a fucking animal.
Yep.
And we as YouTubers take a lot. And it is, you have to have very thick skin in what you do here. And I'll be honest with you, sometimes the comments get to me, and I'm sure you deal with that on your channel as well, Primo. I mean,
oh no, I got over. There was a couple, like and that really did happen in the beginning, but after a while you get numb to it, and that's what I think he's gotten to the point where he's like, I don't care anymore.
And I'm gonna actually show the questions that I had for him.
Oh, good.
Nice. And there's some history, and there's some tough questions. But people have to understand, and this, understand in business, where I've been getting a lot of comments, on the videos I've been posting. We posted up the main shows, and I've done clips off those videos. And I'm getting a lot of things from the chat saying, you're not being tough enough. You're not being this. You're not being that. I'm providing a neutral platform for someone to come on. Why would I message this guy and be like, hey, you're a piece of shit and this and that? I'm opening a platform, a neutral platform. I want a guest on my show. When you want guests on your show, you don't approach them like, hey, you're a piece of shit.
Well, you catch a lot more bees with honey kind of thing. Like, I have to say, like, but what good does it do to come at somebody when the reality is what you want to know is the truth? I mean, that's our goal, right?
And all I know now is gossip and conjecture. I don't know. I want to hear it from his mouth. I want to hear it directly from his mouth.
And I got to be honest, we've heard a lot of the stuff that we hear is the moon is made out of cheese junk. And that's way too many people have said, I know exactly what's going on. I know how this is, and I know how that is. But when I press them for it and I say, give me the real input, their whole story just breaks down. So why not get it from the guy that actually knows the story versus dealing with all the underlings, if you will?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So I said, man, your passion drive. We can do an interview in your terms, live or recorded, uploaded, wherever you prefer. Hope you trust in me, and best intentions, both of us. Thanks so much.
Beautiful.
So Basil's checking, says he has the right to a platform. He does. Right. And I appreciate that you said that, because I know the chat is very quiet here. There's probably a lot of people that are saying that we're being softball, whatever, but this is an open platform. And I've always said that from the beginning. If anybody wants to come on and tell their side of the story or argue their side of the story, they're always welcome. Oh, and by the way, I have another little thing that we're going to do this evening that no other show is doing, and I'll open that up in a little bit. I just want to get through some more of this presentation. But I have I guess a surprise, but if anybody wants to jump on. And
I got, at the end of this too, I got you brought something up that's very interesting for me. And I think I want to bring it up because I think I figured out something, and I'll just put that out there. If Anthony manages to hear this, he can hear the question that I have. And it's more of a comment question, but I think it's something that he's going to align with when you're done. But you go ahead. I like this presentation, so you keep going. We'll get back to it.
So real quick, Laura is checking. She says, if you have Toonie on, I understand that you have to be cordial, but don't have to softball him either. I hope. And that's the thing I want to make very clear too. And let me get through the presentation, because we're going to answer some of that.
Right.
Okay. So let me get through. And I'm gonna go back to answering this question. So Laura, that's a great question, but let me get back and I will answer that. Franchise saying hit piece suck. No reason to corner guests like that. Right. You guys would have to be a very fair platform to speak. It's absolutely.
And if anybody knows, Franchise knows.
I have no fight. I have no fight. I have no fight on either side.
Right.
I have no fight. I think I've done my due diligence for this show, because I was getting, I want to go back to this really quick. You haven't reached out to Watch Nicholas. All you're saying is that you want Anthony's show. I did. And he doesn't want anything to do with this. And that's fine. I'll wish him luck in whatever his endeavors are in life. good luck, sir. But I want to make it very clear to the audience that I did reach out to him. Okay. So don't say that I haven't, because I have.
Right.
So moving on, here are the questions. Here are some of the questions. And some might say this is softball. Some may say it's great questions. But, you know, basically I wanted to start kind of through their history and kind of give a rundown. Basic question, you know, what got you involved and so interested in watches? Okay. How did you and Marco meet? I heard it was through responding to a Craigslist ad, and both of you were mutually selling timepieces. Is that true? Through meeting, you and Marco developed a friendship. Whose initial idea was it to start TPG? Real quick, I just want to pull this up. Mr. H is saying, Anthony's a fascinating case on the dark side of an American dream. And that's your opinion. That's your opinion.
Okay.
And again, I'm hoping that he joins us someday. I think it's going to be a great show.
Right.
I'm hoping that he does. And again, I don't think this is anything that's unfair to show, because these are legitimate questions that I am going to ask him during that. And there will be some hard questions that he'll have to answer on camera. And if people think he's telling the truth or he's bullshitting, that's for you guys to decide. Primo and I here on Let's Talk Live are just providing a platform. And I can go ahead.
This is actually exactly how you handled the Armand Biard interview.
Same thing. Every guest that I have,
Armand knew what was coming.
I'll be honest with you. A huge, I guess I would say, musician hero of mine, we reached out to, that was in a band, and I don't want to disclose his name but was in a pretty successful band, and I had some back and forth with him. I gave him the same kind of questions that I would be asking on the show. And he just said, you know, look, I don't do on-camera interviews, and I'm going to decline to interview. And that's fine, you know, and maybe sometime he comes back around and says, hey, you know, I'll give you that interview now. But damn, that would have been sweet if I could have gotten Primo. That would have been really
awesome.
Sweet.
Yeah.
That would have been really, really sweet. Guys, before we move forward, I just want to make sure you guys are upvoting the stream. Please upvote. And if this is your first time over here, make sure you subscribe. And the basic thing that I really need everybody to do, because over the last week, we've had 100 new subscribers come in. Thank you so much. I'm going to give you guys a bell for that one. Thanks for joining us. But please subscribe and hit the bell icon and turn that on, because every time I drop a video, you guys will be informed when we drop videos. And if you haven't this morning, go back and watch. You know, everybody goes, you don't do watch content. I actually did. If you go back this morning, I dropped the show. I had Kelly on her own time, Kristen Vinyls and Dials. We did about an hour and a half with them. Fantastic show.
Great show.
Two beautiful women of Instagram. And if you want to see those types of that type of content, you can go back and watch that after the stream tonight. I would appreciate it. Franchise saying, the show prep is on the next level. Primo knows I just wing it.
me and Franchise are both, and that's the thing is we get into shows and we have certain types of planning, but our planning our planning is to get in there and start boxing. That's pretty much it.
So look, I'm not going to read through every single question here, but you know, it's just kind of a brief history. I asked him about the blackout. Asked some questions about that. I asked him about the $2 million exclusive Facebook club, the charity auction, the Hubo Big Bang sale.
The 2 robberies?
I did not ask. I don't know if I did ask him about
13.
I asked him about the robberies.
Yeah. I don't think you stone unturned on this. It's pretty good. Yeah.
Pretty straightforward stuff.
Have
you ever had any interactions with Watch Nicholas before? He set your sights on you. If not, why is he coming so hard?
That's not a layup question.
It's not a layup question.
That's straight to the like, hey, have you ever run into this guy before? Why is he doing what he's doing?
What is the relationship there? I want to know what is going, because in my mind, and this is my own opinion, and I'm giving my opinion. I think that something happened between. I mean, to me, it's not like if I didn't know you, okay, that all of a sudden just magically out of thin air you would just start beating the shit out of me. I don't see. There has to be something there. There's some context that we're missing. Go ahead.
But one thing I like about this list is there's nothing in here that the community has not asked. And the thing, and I'm taking out obviously all the hyperbole and all the some of the junk stuff that people have asked. These are the real questions that people out there have been genuinely interested in asking, and there they are. They've been presented to them, and here you
I
go.
think they're real in the sense of a human level, but you're gonna have those trolls that are out there going,
of course,
the tuggy thing and hand jobs and all that. That's
but that's what
fine.
I'm
If he
saying.
wants to talk about that and
Yeah.
I'll ask him about that, that's fine. I have no problem asking that. I'm not going to lay us off. But if he wants to answer it, that's fine. If he says I plead the fifth, then that's fine too.
Yeah.
I mean,
I just think, like I said, I'm not, I just, it's getting off in the weeds, man. Like, this is the stuff that people actually want to know. And you know what? If you guys are in the comments, let me know. Is that really the crap that you really want to put yourself to ask questions about Tuggy? I mean, come on, people. We want to know real stuff, not like this. I mean, I know it's good to be able to rock the boat a little bit and do whatever you guys do and the forums and doing your arguments or whatever, but you're never gonna get anything from that. You can do whatever you want. You're just gonna dig yourself in a hole. This is the stuff we want to know about. Like with Watch Nicholas, hey, what happened? How's that going? How is business currently? Has this stuff hurt you? And to speculate with all those Watch Nicholas Heat and TPG and Grand Caliber, are you secretly working with Marco? That is a real question. That's hey man, here, let's see what you got.
He may tell me and he may not.
Right. But like you said, he could plead the fifth. You don't have to. Right. You don't have to answer it. And the thing is if it does, we don't even bring the question up because there's no point of it. So,
do you want to take this one?
Oh, do you guys not find it bizarre that Ferrer fully admitted on camera that he had no choice but to relegate himself to hoping a random stranger on Instagram would continue to fund an unprofitable business?
Let's ask him.
Right. Yeah, that's
I'm over and ask him.
Yeah.
And we're going to get to that. Don't worry. We're going to get to that.
Right.
We're going to get to this. But I can't ask him. He's not on the show right now. So I can't ask him those questions. Laura saying, would you ask him about the recent testing positive for cocaine and how it affects his probation? Allegedly. Sure. Why not?
If that word's legal.
That's his business. But allegedly, if that is true, allegedly.
But if he's on probation, I'm definitely don't want to ask anything that's going to affect his probation in any way. Now, once he gets off probation, if he wants to talk about all the crazy drugs that he did or did not do at the time, that's perfectly fine. But like I said, if you're on probation, don't ask somebody something that's going to get them like busted.
Right. So moving on. So we had questions. Thursday, I just sent at the end of all that, I just sent him kind of a voicemail just to kind of just legitimize everything, let him hear my voice, give some subject to it, and just kind of hear my tone of where this was coming from. And then I followed up with him on Friday. Hey, Anthony, this is Brian from Let's Talk Live podcast. I was wondering if you had time to look over the interview questions I sent you a few days ago. My objective is to provide a neutral, respectful platform, conduct a professional interview on your terms to hear your story. Only I give you 30, give me 30 minutes to an hour of your time. I hope you consider it. Thanks for your time.
There you go.
I didn't think anything was going to happen, and then I got an answer.
Whoa!
I got an answer.
Nice.
So Anthony wrote back 2:17 a.m. And again, I don't think this is anything that he would be upset that I shared. And I actually will put this probably as a statement because we haven't heard anything. This is his statement right now. Hey, Brian, I read the questions. Great questions. And I have answers for all of them. I've decided for now, though, that I'm going to remain quiet and move in silence until I'm ready to come back. Yeah. I will come back and I will give people more to talk about than they have now.
Nice.
But for now, I'm focused on my business and nothing more. I do appreciate the neutral ground that you and your partner have shared, looking for hard evidence and facts over gossip. And I'm waiting for the same thing to come to light, laugh out loud. Because I actually respect the approach that you have brought to the videos. So he's been watching. He knows what's going on. He may be watching right now. Anthony, if you're watching, you're welcome to join.
Yep.
I promise you an exclusive interview to answer any and all questions.
There you go.
So I'm going to repeat that. To answer any and all questions. I will wait though until after our first couple of videos come back, because I know you will have more.
Yeah. Nice. There you go. That's
I wrote them back.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony, thanks for taking the time to consider. I appreciate you getting back to me. Our platform is always open when you're ready to emerge. I look forward to our exclusive interview in the near future. Keep moving forward. B. So Anthony, if you are watching, and I'm looking in the camera right now, I appreciate that you did get back to me. I appreciate that you want to come on the show, and I'm going to hold you to that. Right. I'm going to hold you to that. I want that exclusive interview, and I want it right here on the Let's Talk Live podcast. Again, this is a neutral platform. I'm going to give you questions. I'm going to hit you hard. I'm going to have those questions ready, and we'll get some answers. Mm-hmm. But for now, I respect what you're doing and keep moving along. And when you're ready, reach out to me and we'll do that. And then this morning, I got him, after I sent that kind of finalized message, he did like the message that I sent. So he has responded, and that's it. So
yeah.
We need to stay tuned.
Yeah. That's real right there. That's yeah.
And again, I know everybody's going to go, you're softballing it. You're not this, you're not that, you're not this and that. But look, it's a podcast. It's a neutral platform. We'll let anybody on to talk about what they want. And then I can give my opinion. But I'm not going to give my opinion until the guest is in front of me, so I can ask them the questions.
Yeah. But that's the thing is I think that in some of the questions that some people have asked here that are a little bit, I guess the word is harder than usual, or some stiff or tough questions. I think that if he's come back from that and come off of the other end of it and been at the other side of whatever he's going through, then I think he might actually be up for asking some of those questions. You know what I mean? That already been brought up here in our podcast area here. So,
yeah. And I mean, that's the thing though, too, is that people have to understand that you like Franchise was saying, when you're trying to get a guest on the show,
right,
you can't paste them against the wall and then go, do you want to be on my show?
Right.
It's just not going to work. They're not going to respond. Yeah. And that's all we're just trying to do here. Neutral platform, open it up and hear their side of the story.
Yeah. So. It's something I wanted to say, and you were offering to it there. I think that a lot of times, especially like when I started off my stuff, I was really rare to what the internet had to offer. Mm-hmm. And it was not like any of the platforms I'd done before. So if you do TV, you do radio, you do all that stuff, there's a lot of filtering that goes on for the stuff that gets in front of you, and it's done in a more controlled way. Since we've added stuff like social media platforms, YouTube, all these things, there's really an open forum for people. And some of them are real. They're real people that are interested in very genuine questions. Some people are just trolls. They're going to do things just to spite you, and they're going to say things because there are people out there that are vindictive. What I kind of think, and this is something that I would hope that, Anthony would look at and listen to, is saying that these guys got their first stuff out. They took off really quick. And I don't think a lot of that negative input that they got, I don't think they got a lot of it early. Then when it started turning on them, it turned hard. And it's something that even it took me a while to get accustomed to it. When I first got my, high hit videos over 200,000 views on it, suddenly the people started coming out of the woodwork and making comments to me that I was like, what do I do here?
And you don't think I'm getting shit for this right now? I mean, I'm getting tons of shit. Oh, you guys are just jumping on the hype train. You're just, you're dragging this out. I mean, some people are kind of a little bit coming at me tonight in the chat here. You guys are just doing this because But the funny thing is, if you go on YouTube right now in your algorithm, I guarantee you, every single channel or podcast or whatever is going on, you know what the biggest thing they're talking about right now? Johnny Depp and Amber Heard.
Yeah.
It's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
It's the biggest thing.
On whatever,
no one has a problem with that. But the minute that I start talking about something that's going on in the watch world that we all know about, I become the piece of shit all of a sudden. I'm the one that's jumping on the hype train, trying to get clicks and views. No, I'm trying to bring a story. That's the thing that people have to understand, that this is a podcast, this is a platform. It's what we do. We interview people here.
Right. Yep.
So,
but that, like I said, I think that it really came to the point of where these guys got a lot of flack early, and it was, you don't know how to handle it in the beginning. And then you take that step back. And then when you can take the step back and absorb it and realize how much of that stuff isn't real, it's just people being the way they are and letting it blow over a little bit, you realize sometimes that, you know, that input was not as important as it was. And that's the thing is I learned to say bye Felicia a lot to the people. And I said, hey, you know what, if you don't like this podcast, if you don't like their podcast, if you don't like their stuff, you know what, there's a lot of other things out there that you can look at that would be a bigger waste of your time. But hey, you know, feel free to go ahead and do that. So
phone lines are open if anybody wants to call the show. 774-855-9400. I'm the call screener, so I can just drop the call in 2 seconds. So don't worry about it, franchise.
That's awesome.
So we do have a number if anybody wants to call the show and give their comment, their feedback. It's perfectly fine. 774-855-9400.
Yep.
I bet you won't pick the phone up. But anyway, you know, shit, I just lost my train of thought. I think what happened, and this goes back to the last show that we had, that I think a lot of the stuff hit too quick, too fast.
Right.
I don't think that Anthony was actually, let me back up. I do think that things hit too quick, too fast. Lots of success going on, right. Lots of millions of dollars of inventory flowing through his hands. He's meeting with celebrities and, athletes, and he's out in the Hollywood lifestyle. And, you know, he's been very transparent about his criminal past. And that was like one of the first videos that he dropped. He kind of talked about, you know, look, I've been to prison. I've gone through the system. I think he spent almost 2 years in prison, got out, started to kind of go on the straight and narrow. And I think going through and, trying, I think, to use this as an opportunity to maybe fix a lot of the things that went wrong early in his life. Right. And I think that he's really just trying to do the right thing. And maybe it just all went too fast and got derailed.
Then when it turned on him, that was the Mm-hmm.
And then when it turned on him, I don't think he had the way to handle it, because you're trying to run a business, you're running a YouTube page, you're flying all over the place, you're going back and forth to LA and Dallas, you're dealing with inventory, and look, when the cameras are turned off, I'm sure there's a lot of other shit that they're dealing with on that end as well too. So he's probably fielding that. Now you have this other channel that pops up in channels that are all over YouTube, and they're attacking you. You're trying to filter through and sort that. People are pulling very personal information about you. They're doxing you. And then now you're back in that, and you're fighting back, and you're doxing people. It's just, it got very ugly.
The one that gets me is because you were like that. The first question you ask yourself is, why do these people so angry at me? And I remember lashing back at people. If you guys ever want to look up at something, anybody plays like Grand Theft Auto or Rockstar, you can actually look up the FVIP Primo username. That was specifically made to hate me, and it happens. It is what it is. And that's the thing is, see, like I said, I've been through this awful slalom of people just coming out and lambasting you and inviting you to stuff because they plan on trying to beat you up or whatever, or doing whatever they're going to do. And you get used to it. Like, and it comes a point like, you're like, these guys don't matter. They want to be something big, and they're not. And that was the thing is I think that that was his thing. He just, that came at him. And now he's going to, hopefully he takes that step back and goes, you know what? It really isn't me. It isn't all this other stuff. I'm amazed at what people can dig up. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, because he's still Anthony. I mean, it's nothing to this one. Oh, it all started turning the moment live on camera they admitted to a secret investor. They would secure his investment by using consigned inventory as collateral. Their first huge unethical mistake. Interesting.
It's crazy though. This is what I mean. It's like, but see how involved. This is what I think is so captivating about this.
Yeah.
There are so many people that are so deeply involved.
Oh, they know stuff that you
everything, and they don't forget.
No.
Is that the pure hatred? Is that what it is? Is it?
People
Fuck up. Believe me, there's a lot of
right,
people that fuck up. There's a lot of, I guess, celebrities or YouTubers that fuck up. And believe me,
right.
I've fucked up.
And
But
it's
people,
so the funny thing is that when everybody's on your team, it doesn't matter how much you mess up and do everything wrong. It's when suddenly everybody's not on your team that they turn on you, they dig all this stuff up, they bring out your past, they throw it in your face and use it as an example. And it's like some of it is definitely unfair. Do you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of solid, good questions that I would like to ask. But then there's stuff that I go, it's just like, it's like a conspiracy, and it really is a conspiracy. And I think people get entrenched in those things. They feel like they're online detectives. It was like when it's been recently, everybody's been one thing or the other based on whatever's in the news. And like the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard thing, suddenly everybody knows what everybody's doing. And then the story comes out and you go, oh, wait a minute, that's not exactly the way the story went. And now the public records are saying something different. So I think it really is just, they have what they have, but you kind of say, are you an investigative reporter? There's a lot of stuff that comes along with that, being able to say, before I print something or before I put it on my podcast, I've done 10 million pounds of work. And here's, like you were showing on the screen there, these are the messages that we had. They're real. That's not hyperbole. That's not like we're not throwing something in the air. It's on the hype train. That's a real conversation. And where is it going to go is the question. That's real.
And I feel like that, his response after, everything towards the end, I call that an official statement at this point. And that's what I asked for. Give me an official statement.
Yeah.
And I think that's the statement that he's going to stand by for now. Mm-hmm. And again, I'm going to hold him to that. I want the exclusive interview here on Let's Talk Live.
But that's the thing. I mean, we got to say that too. And like you said, if you were, and I said this before, I'm going to keep saying it again. This is something I want to put to bed. I want it to be, and that's the thing. In the long, dude, I'm just going to say, I've been on this train before. I know I didn't have as many people on my hype train as you did, and so many people watching you, so much more, but it didn't matter how many people were watching. The worst thing you can do is not just feed it the animal and get it out of the way, because once you feed it and you answer all the stupid questions, it doesn't matter how many of the conspiracy theories do all their stuff. The people that are really interested in the story go, oh, that's the story, and they put it to bed and they walk away, and it'll leave the 6 to 7% of the people out there that come on all these different podcasts and just lambast the crap out of him. Now they have nothing left. He's already come out. He's already said everything he needed to say. It's over. And that's the thing is right now with what he's given you, this isn't put to bed. This is now everybody's going to be talking about it and talking about it. And it's only going to get bigger.
And believe me, there'll be other channels out there. And I'm going to guarantee you the minute this video posts, they're going to cut that and they're going to use that for material, because I'm watching it right now. I've been watching the other channels popping up. There's channels out there that are using my titles that I'm using on my videos right now and posting and getting views on their content. So don't say that I'm the only, I'm the person that's jumped on this hype train and this and that and that and this. There's a few other channels right now that I've been watching, and they're copying my titles to my videos and copying the material that we're doing.
When you came out and started banging the drum, and all of a sudden a couple of guys were banging the same tune, I thought it was kind of interesting that hey, we've got the hype train, but it's so funny that everybody's banging the same drums. Are we copying somebody else? No, they're copying us. So I think that you're a little bit ahead of the curve on this one.
Basil Bezel, I'll give you a bell for that one. It's cool that he actually responded. It was cool that he actually responded. I didn't think he was going to respond to me because he doesn't know me from Adam. He doesn't know me from anywhere. And I thought it was cool that he actually took the time to go back and look through the material on my channel before he responded. I mean, after responded. And, he knows what's going on. He knows what's going on over here. And Basil Bezel, channel member, thank you so much for your membership. If you guys want to join and support the Let's Talk Live podcast, you go down below, hit that little join button. I have all my tiers down there. Any money that's sourced through the channel goes right back into this channel to provide the best possible experience and get this channel growing. And what I need you guys right now to do, while we're hanging out is I got to make sure that you guys are upvoting. Please upvote the channel right now to get this out in the algorithm. I do appreciate it. 37 people watching. Let's get 37 upvotes.
Yeah.
Franchise says 3 solid sources or don't report it. That's solid journalism, in my opinion. And I feel like I've done that.
Franchise, that's basic for us because we've done this before. A lot of these guys don't see that as they don't they investigate. And then who was it said the other day? Investigative journalism is dead. Like the old stuff that we used to do when we used to get in the trenches, actually ask people some tough questions, hold them to the fire. A lot of the stuff today with investigative journalism is they make up a story, then they go out and ask the person calls them out on it, and they're like embarrassed. Like, we know how to actually go out and say, hey, you said this, you did it, it's on public record. Do you have something to say? And some of them actually just go, hey, this is the answer. And some of them run away. So, who do you got?
And I do want to say this too. After this show, I'm putting this to bed until Anthony reached back out to me and gives me the exclusive interview. This is something that I'm not going to keep dragging on, and we're going to move on with our regular formulated content on the show. We have other guests that are going to be coming on the show, and if you stick around, you stick around. If you don't, you don't. If you don't like what we're doing, you can hit the unsubscribe button and leave right now. That's perfectly fine with me. But we're going to go back to a regular format because I'm not going to sit here every Sunday and have shows about TPG and Anthony Fair and Watch Nicholas and blah, blah, blah. But I'm giving the content tonight because we have the content to follow up. So we can call this part 3 in the saga. Yeah, right. And maybe we'll have the fucking final season when Anthony finally comes on and gives me the interview. But that's going to, this will be it for tonight.
I do like this comment though. When you're a watch collector in this very small community, you bet you catch those type of red flags. It can take years to build trust and seconds to destroy it. That's the part you guys can't forget. And I absolutely, of all the things, I am genuinely what you're saying right there is absolutely 100%. You got to realize I've lived in a couple of worlds where the communities were thimble small, and your character has to be the number one thing you protect, not just from the side that we're coming from, but the side that when we go out and do the stuff that we're doing, it has to be dialed in. But that's the thing is, I don't think a lot of these people get into this stuff. They make channels and they don't think about those little things about these actions that they take and the questionable things that may happen and how they deal. That's why I said on the other show, publicists become super important. And it's not just little YouTube channels too. Think about the big stars out there that have made critical mistakes in their careers and now had to spend millions of dollars just to undo one single mistake. And that's something that all these guys got to learn. But I think one thing that you need to add to this too is that trust can be rebuilt. There can be empires that look like they collapse, but you still have a good foundation. You still have a castle. All you got to do is repair some of the spires and you go right back to being a castle again. I think that's true of all these guys. So I just maybe give them an opportunity, give everybody an opportunity and just say, hey, you know what? Let's see.
Good. How you doing, buddy?
Loving life, loving the podcast. Great content as always. The things I don't know a lot about.
Sure.
I have a Samsung smartwatch with a $3 Amazon band on it.
Right.
But it looks nice. But I just wanted to call, say I love the content. I love what you guys are doing. Keep it up. Just wanted to call and give my support.
Thanks, man. You are the first official caller of the Let's Talk Live podcast. I do appreciate that, and you're welcome to join us.
Do I
anytime.
get like an Applebee's gift card or something?
Yeah. we'll get you something.
We're gonna get him a Let's Talk Live stick. Put on the caddy.
Take care. I just wanted to call and say hey. Thank you.
See you, buddy.
Thank you so much, man. Take care. Have a great night. All right. See you. Cool, man. That was cool. We got a caller. First official caller. We had someone that had the nuggets to stack up and call. Franchise, appreciate that, man. I really do appreciate that. You know what? We got bunked off Facebook again. They removed us.
Why?
I just got the notification.
Yeah, I was wondering. We dropped like 10 people, and then I was like, something happened, but and then I got a notification that we froze over on the other one. Oh, whatever.
So let me see here. Just trying to catch up. So anyway, again, oh wait, R6 saying get him a 25 cellos gift card. Yes, cellos. Yeah, man. Nice. Inside check for Province View. Yeah, fucking cellos.
Nice.
Good call out, man.
I think you know what? I think I like his idea better. We'll get him the Let's Talk Live sticker and the cellos gift card. I think that's if he's going to bring it up like that.
But real quick, I think going back to a point that people, if you want to call us whatever YouTube, believe me, I'm no fucking celebrity in any sense. I just run a small podcast. I have 1,300 people that are subscribed to this channel. I appreciate every single person that comes over here and joins in on our content, good or bad. That's great. I think going back to what you said, people fuck up and they have the opportunity to fix that. Look at some of maybe your favorites. Look at Will Smith.
Dude.
Will Smith just fucked up really bad. What, he's got a 25-year ban for 10-year ban from the
it's a long
Grammys.
Yeah. But you know what? He'll roll
Not
with the
Grammys, Oscars. I'm sorry.
And the thing is after everything that happened, it's still Will Smith. We're going to look over and we're going to look at him and say, you know what? It's still Will. We don't know him from a hole in the wall. Right. In reality, he could be a total miserable person, but he brings us these great movies that have in-depth stuff that we get something out of. And all of us say after it happened, like, you know what, Will, you'll bounce back. You
know what I think's crazy? And this is what I find crazy right now with that Johnny Depp and Amber Heard thing that's going on. Believe me, I haven't sat there and watched every single fucking detail of it because it just bores the hell out of me. But why is it that he's played as the good guy and she's the bad guy? Now, I know that she's done a lot of shit, but the way that I look at it, this way, I think they're both two, and a lot of people forget this.
Sure.
There's a video out there of him being very, very violent, smashing his house up, throwing shit in the house, and that to me is behavior that is. Look, I come from an alcoholic, drug addict father. I've seen that stuff.
Right.
I don't think he's just as innocent as everybody else says, and I think these are two very violent behaviors. Two violent people that have violent behaviors, and no,
I don't think that he's as violent as you think. And the thing is I can't really go to the tune of how I understand this, but I understand that when you're in a relationship where violence is prevalent in one side of the relationship, it usually instigates violence on the other side, and people take he'll take cellos. There you go, franchise. You got it, man.
I'm gonna Laura Bell now and Amber Turn.
Yeah, Laura, good one. But that's the thing is once you're in when your relationship with somebody is based on violence, then sometimes you do end up returning violence. What I saw and another thing, I don't want to go into it too much, but like the idea of there's violence on both ends. I kind of see it from more on one side than I see it on the other. And I see is I see somebody who is being tortured, taking action that is, based on that. In other words, self-inflicted harm, things of that nature. And I'm just going to say it like this, because I can't go into the details of why I know or what the deal is with that, but it is not my first rodeo seeing something like that and understanding that it hurts me deeply when anytime you have, because a spouse, just like a psychologist is not able to do harm on his people, it's considered completely unethical. When it comes to relationships, I kind of feel it's the same way. And I think that people don't view it the way they should, which is it's completely unethical to be trapped in a relationship with somebody who you think that you love, that you think loves you as much as you do, and they use that love against you. And I think that is probably one of the most unforgivable sins, is the idea of the betrayal of trust. So, but you know what? Everybody is open to their opinion. So if you've got that, go for it, man. Run with it until somebody's determined in a court of law, and then we can have the court say that's what it was.
Gentleman's Hangout Podcast. JJ, what's up, man? Hope everything's well over on the Gentleman's Hangout. Thanks for popping in, dude. Appreciate that. So anyway, let's get ready to wrap this all up. We're coming up on the hour, and we know the algorithm, how that is. And I'm going to say that
this is it.
Right. This is it. For now, we're going to put this to bed. If you guys want to go back, if you're just jumping in right now, Anthony Farah has responded. I've had some conversation with him. He has granted me an exclusive interview when he does come back to social media. Anthony, I'm looking at the camera right now. I'm holding you to that. I know you watch the channel. I know you know what's going on. And I do appreciate that you did get back to me. But we're going to get all the we're going to get all the questions answered. I'm not going to throw him softballs. I'm going to go right at him, and we need to get him on the podcast to do that. So again, Anthony,
well, we're going to go at him, but we're going to go at him with the right stuff. In other words, the right questions, the stuff that really people want to, and whether you know it or not, you need the answers to. But yeah, I think it's more of we got the shovel out. Right. We really can't put it in the grave yet, but we can tuck it into bed for night, and hopefully when we wake up tomorrow, that there'll be something in our under our stocking or underneath the Christmas tree to say, here's the gift that everybody wants. And when that happens, we're gonna definitely share it out to you guys. So comments away, do everything you got to do. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button, and get ready for the next chapter in this, man.
Next chapter coming soon. So with that being said, we're coming up on the hour. I want to thank everybody for jumping over and checking out our podcast this evening. I do appreciate every single person that has popped on. Question. We had our first caller this evening, which was awesome.
Yep.
Franchise, thanks for checking in and thanks for watching the show. And just before we close out the show, thank you, Basil Bezel, channel member. And dude, we are going to get together soon. I need to meet up with you. We're going to do a video, do some watch collection videos. If you guys want watch content, then we'll give you watch content. But I'm going to tell you, it's a podcast show. We're going to go back to our regular format. And for now, we're going to put this to bed, right? We've got our answer. We're going to wait. But when it comes back up, we're going to come back over and we'll have a follow-up show. Give Basil Bezel a bell for that one. Good show, guys. I do appreciate that, sir. Channel member, awesome stuff there. And
if we're going to tuck it into bed, does it get a teddy bear, or do we have to wait for that? Or is that
maybe,
or is this like a turn down thing with like the chocolate and the little mint thing? Cause I love that when I go to the places.
Well, thank you so much for checking in. You've been a follower here, a recent follower of the show, and you always provide great chats and fair chats. And we do appreciate that over here on Let's Talk Live. Franchise saying great show as always. Thank you, sir, for calling the show. Our first caller. That was pretty badass. And
he's going to hold us to the cellos thing. Just saying.
Right. I'm looking forward. The phone lines will always be open when we are on the show. And I'll let everybody know if they want to save the phone number in their phone for the next show. You can call 774-855-9400. Reach out to us. Let us hear your opinions. With that being said, Primo, I think that's going to do it.
That's it, buddy.
And we're going to catch up again soon on the flip side. Thank you guys again for joining the show. We'll see you next time. Peace.